Hello everyone, Eric Teacher here, and today we are going to talk about an ancient Greek philosopher by the name of Epicurus. We are going to talk about who he was, what he believed, and how we can apply his ideas to a modern world. And with that, let's get right into it. So, who was Epicurus? Well, Epicurus was a Greek philosopher born on the island of Samos. He lived around the Hellenistic period, and this would have been right after the death of Alexander the Great. Most notably, he founded a school in Athens called the Garden, which was very different for the time because it welcomed all people, not just men, but women and slaves too. And he taught a philosophy named after him called Epicureanism, which emphasized simple living, friendship, and the pursuit of tranquility. So let's talk more about his ideas. So the first key thing about Epicurus is that he was a materialist. And what that means for him is that first he believed that everything was made of atoms, way before we could even prove that atoms were a real thing. And because he was a materialist, that means that he rejected things like the gods interfering with human lives, or that there was an afterlife. He didn't believe in it. The next key idea about Epicurus is that he believed in simple pleasures, that they are the key to a happy life. So he encouraged very basic things like having good food, having meaningful talks with other people, and of course, quiet time to reflect. We should avoid unnecessary desires because they lead to stress and anxiety if they're too complicated. And so for him, if we live this way, we achieve the highest pleasure that takes us to a state of calm freedom from all worry. And our last and probably biggest idea from Epicurus was that we should not be afraid of death. That fear of death is a waste of time because it's based on what he called bad logic. When we think about death, we think about not existing. But first, he says that we aren't there to feel that. So that creates unnecessary stress. We will not feel anything after death. And he says we can even think about before death. We didn't exist for thousands and thousands and millions and billions and probably trillions of years. And when we think about that non-existence, we're not worried about it. So why should we worry about not existing after death? So how can we use Epicurus's ideas today? Well, first, we can use his ideas to reduce our own stress when thinking about death. We can think of it as not something to fear, but something that gives our life more value. Because this is a time when we are alive and feeling sensation. We should enjoy it. Next, we shouldn't chase luxury in life. We can still focus on simple pleasures, even in a modern world. Good food, a good walk, meaningful conversation, and being with friends and family all still make us happy today. And last, he reminds us that we should try to seek freedom from fear and pain, rather than trying to seek money or the next big material item that makes me happy. We can ask ourselves questions like, do I really need this to be happy? Or am I stressing about something that I can't control? And just focus on the simple things. So think like Epicurus. Live life, have less stress, get more peace, and enjoy the little things. And remember that philosophy isn't about having all the answers. It's about asking smart questions and thinking deeply. And with that, I will see you all again next time. Goodbye.